All right, so the unit begins at week 3, where we're beginning the educational justice unit, and I introduce a text in the first week. The educational justice final prompt is listed at the top, and I did your idea, Sarah, of by Wednesday and by Sunday. So we use they say, I say, and these are just thrown in there to support students' writing. The first discussion of part 1 is just getting them into the conversation of educational justice. They, the questions are, what might be the conversation surrounding it? To what extent do they think the collective public has a responsibility to worry about ensuring educational justice in society? And to what extent does educational injustice exist at Helix? And then throughout the thing, we work on reading closely America Needs Its Nerds by Leonid Friedman, and we chart the text. We use the soapstone, looking at the speaker, occasion, audience, purpose, subject, and the tone. And during the live lecture, we'll look closely at persuasive strategies the writer uses, and as well as looking at the argument mapping of the text. And then they respond to a few of their peers. And then we move on to Kozel's Savage Inequalities, and we do the same steps for those. We chart, soapstone, argument map, and persuasive strategies. Week 4, we continue reading, and we begin work with Talk to Teachers by James Baldwin, and we do the exact same steps there. Midweek of that week, we look at the prompt, and students are asked to choose a text, and we narrow down the prompt. I help them gather their notes as an organizational tip. We look at how the MLA citations might be for this paper, and then they work on writing a preliminary thesis that will be peer edited. In week 5, or the third week of that unit, they will finish their peer review of their thesis. They draft their introduction and body paragraph. We look at what the function is of an introduction in a rhetorical analysis paper. We look at samples through that. And then in the live lecture, I'll put up the samples and talk about it. And then they write the conclusion, revise their intro and body paragraph based on peer feedback. The final week is spent with peer editing. I remind them of the plagiarism code. The MLA citations, again, are listed there. And then we do the peer editing. In this live Zoom, it'll be more of a writer's workshop style, where they read their paper aloud to their peers, and then they have that feedback live during that time. I will set up individual meetings for that second Zoom, and then they submit their paper and they have a final reflection. Thank you. I look forward to your feedback. And how do I stop?